Thank you very much. We're here in central London and delighted to have Eddie Hearn with me. Eddie, why are we here tonight?
It's a classic new age development for Matchroom Boxing, which is otherwise known as a rebrand in that world, where basically our team go out, they spend an absolute fortune to have a new logo, a new look, new messaging, new advertising campaign globally, but in all honesty, it's just a really double down from us in a very competitive market to say, you know, we are here with the only global promotional company in the world. Things are going to look a little bit different from us now because I feel like we are leaders and we are first, but over time everyone copies you and catches up. So you just got to keep going, keep evolving, and you'll see that tonight. A lot of our fighters are here, AJ's here as well, and yeah, it starts with Conor against Eubank this week. Not just the fights, but not just the fights itself, but the press conferences, the weigh-ins. Time to just switch it up a little bit, freshen it up.
Big breaking news Sunday night. Benn Eubank 2. Here we go.
Yeah, it surprised me because I didn't even know the announcement was coming. I mean, we're cool with it. Obviously, we've signed a contract and Conor's ready to go on Saturday, let alone in 12 weeks' time. So His Excellency fired out the news, and yeah, I think it caught a few people off guard, but like I said, we're ready. You know, we've been talking over the last 2 or 3 weeks regarding the date. Both sides know that the 20th or 27th was always going to be the date. His Excellency confirmed that in the ring that night. So looking forward to it. And another massive British blockbuster, and it seems to be the way at the moment. Some big stadium fights happening in the UK, and that's another cracker.
Is it fair to say Wembley or Tottenham 50-50?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a huge night, Bridgie. It's going to be a huge night.
Look. Can it eclipse the first one we had? I mean, that has got to go
For me,
down.
all you're going to see is round 13 from the get-go. These two are never going to fight any other way. They're going to stand in the middle of the ring and they're going to give you entertainment, blood and guts every single time. The first fight was one of the greatest fights we've ever seen. I mean, to create a moment and a fight like that, the build-up, the narrative, the dads, everything couldn't have been better. And, you know, sometimes you get people say, oh, do they need to do it again? Yeah, because I want to see it again. You know, you've just had one of the best fights we've ever witnessed in a British ring. Let's see it again, and it'll be. I believe it'll be a better fight this time. I believe with the activity now of Conor Benn, we can win this fight. And that's what we want. We don't want to just do it again. We want to win. Conor Benn's fuming that he lost. He lost his O, and he wants it back, and that's what he'll be gunning for September 20th.
Are we going to start talking about weights, 160 again, clauses, rehydration clauses?
We have
again?
our contract, you know, which is the same terms as the first fight. So we just expect that to be honoured, really. And we'll see. It's not really one for us. I guess that's for the other team. But they signed a contract. Everyone knew the terms. And, yeah, we'll see.
Have you heard from Eubank's camp or anyone?
Yeah, I did. They reached out to me. You know, I don't want to throw anyone under a bus. But, you know, they basically said, you need to speak to us now, direct. So we'll leave that there. But it was, you know, I think the announcement definitely caught a few people off guard. You know, normally in a normal boxing world, you would say, right, everybody, the announcement's coming at 9 o'clock. Here's the, you know, the graphics. Here's all the information. But Turki Al-Sheikh does things a little bit differently. Once the venue's discussed that he wants and everyone signed a contract, bang, it's out there. And that's what he did. So, yeah, I think some people have this thing about control, you know, like they want to be in control of everything. For Conor, he's sweet. He's like, just tell me the date, I'll be there. And on Sunday, we were told the date.
Do you know what I noticed with Conor after the fight? He was smiling. Like, yeah. He was happy a week later. Forget the money side. Do you feel like
because
he knows his unfinished
Yeah, because the thing is, no one likes to lose, and it's horrible, especially when you're a competitor, and especially when you're a winner. But when you lose in a moment that everybody that watched and everybody that attended Tottenham Hotspur will talk about for the rest of their life and will remember for the rest of their life, how can you not be happy? I mean, of course, you never want to get beat. But what you did, that fight is iconic. No one will ever forget that fight. You know, and that's what they created. And they can create it again even better. But if you can do that and win, then that'll be extra sweet. And Conor's up against it. We know that. He's a much smaller man. But we believe with his activity now coming off that fight, he can win the fight.
How's AJ?
He's good. He's coming tonight. He's obviously had that operation, getting back into the gym. He'll fight November, December. And we're just starting to ping a few WhatsApps backwards and forwards regarding possible opponents. Nothing really to give you on that, but you know, he's always going to fight a top 15 guy. You know, we know that the preference, of course, would be to go into those Tyson Fury fights next year. So we can't afford to lose. But it can happen in the heavyweight game, and you know, there's a lot of pressure on him because A lot of fighters will say, oh, he's coming to the end, and I don't think he's going to fight forever, for sure. But right now, he's loving life, he's motivated, and he's very excited to return to the ring.
You say top 15. Jake Paul just being the WBA top 15.
Cruiserweight. I mean,
what
like,
do you reckon to that, mate?
Look, I think that I've surprised myself this week because I actually have given him the respect that I think he deserves, which is, look, this guy has been fighting for a while now in big events around the world. He went into the game as really a complete novice. I think he's made big improvements as a boxer. I think he's taking things seriously. I don't think he's a YouTuber anymore, right? I think he's a professional boxer. Is he top 15 in the world? Don't be so ridiculous. But is he top 100 in the world? Maybe. And by the way, I know that might not sound like a compliment. That's a big compliment. I think his IQ's improving. I think he can whack. I think he can take a shot. He beat Chavez, who's a washed-up guy, but he was a former world champion that did train for that fight. So I think you have to give Jake his props. And look, he's a disruptor. He wants to create mad moments. If he wants to be mad enough to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua and make several tens of potentially hundreds of millions, he will do it, Jake Paul. Will AJ? I mean, he's his own man, but I would be saying, yeah, come on, mate, go and deal with this guy, get him out of the game. And I think a lot of people would tune in to watch, but is it a fight that I think should be happening? No, not really. But, you know, we live in a completely crazy world, especially in the world of boxing, where you just never know.
We heard from Dillian Whyte on Sky earlier. He said he was talks with AJ, but it didn't materialise. Would that be one of your three final ones for AJ?
I mean, I think we would have fought Dillian Whyte if he didn't fight Moses, but he stepped up in August to fight Moses, a great heavyweight fight, so he's out of the mix for now. But look, you know, we'll be looking for a fight and looking forward to seeing AJ return. Finally,
you're going to keep your eye on Usyk Dubois, because I'm sure AJ's going to think about, he wants to revenge.
I think particularly Dubois, if Dubois can win that fight, become undisputed champion, I think AJ would love to run it back, because look at the rewards if you can win. It's a great fight. I think it's anyone's fight, and good luck to both men.